Today I want to talk to you about Plan B. In business, do you need a Plan B? We always hear we need a contingency, we need to have a fallback plan, but what if you decided that actually a fallback plan is an excuse to not move forward? I'm going to share in this video why I took maybe a bold step, some might call it foolhardy, to absolutely take away any contingency when I closed down one business to go all in on my new business. So hang around, I'm going to share with you what made me dive in without a contingency or a plan B, knowing that that was the best option for me. Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Bev Thorogood and I help women with ADHD to start and scale their business. I've had my own business now for 5 years. I became an accidental entrepreneur at the age of 52, and in the last 5 years I've grown and built a business that's been relatively successful by my standards, and I made the decision to shut the business down despite the fact that it's profitable, it's viable, and it's a product that people are still wanting and asking for. So what on earth made me make the decision to completely close a viable business? Well, I've been on a bit of a journey over the last 5 years, being diagnosed with ADHD, struggling originally with menopause related symptoms, which is what made me start my business in the first place, having left a very long career with the Ministry of Defence that I was struggling with because of menopause. If you want to learn more about my story, carry on following me and it'll all come out. I'm not going to share that all in this video. But after 5 years of working in one industry, the menopause awareness training business, where I was going into organisations and raising awareness of the impact of menopause on working women, 5 years down the line, I feel like I've moved on in my own life and the menopause isn't as relevant, but I was still running this business. I was still getting clients, still getting asked to go and deliver training about a subject that didn't have the same amount of interest, drive, passion behind it as it did a few years ago. So I started a new business a few months ago, in the early stages, just bringing things together, going back to my first love, which is coaching. So my business, Bev Thorogood Coaching, is my new venture. And for a couple of months, I've been running the two businesses alongside each other, building Bev Thorogood Coaching and still running pretty much single-handedly, as often as small businesses do. I do outsource some things, but pretty much running the other side of the business single-handedly. And I knew that my renewed passion was for Bev Thorogood Coaching. I hadn't lost interest in the last business, but I wasn't driven by it. And I have to tell you, if you haven't got a business, or if you're thinking of starting a business, you need to be prepared to do something that you're passionate about and that will keep you interested, because running a business is not easy. It's rewarding and it can give you a huge amount of benefit, but it's not easy. And when it does get a bit tough, if you're running a business that you're really not enjoying anymore, it's going to be incredibly difficult to keep going. So I knew Bev Thorogood Coaching was a direction I wanted to go in, but I was torn between having these two competing interests running at the same time. And of course, as a human being, I have a finite amount of time, a finite amount of energy, and a finite amount of brain space. And I went networking a couple of weeks ago to start talking about this new business, to start building an audience of potential clients, of leads, of prospects for my new business. And when I was networking, it was the first time I'd been out talking about this new business, and I realised how energised I was by it, how much more enthusiastic I sounded when I was talking about it. And I was driving home from the networking event and I listened to Blinkist on my car radio. Blinkist, if you don't know, is an app that gives you an audio or a written summary of full books. Now, as a woman with ADHD, my attention span isn't great. So Blinkist is absolutely brilliant as an app because it condenses the main points of a book down. So you only have to listen to 10-15 minutes of it to get the whole idea of the book. And the book that came on randomly out of the blue was a book called Burn the Boats by a chap called Matt Higgins. And Matt's book is basically about a different approach to starting a business whereby you don't have a plan B or a contingency. You have plan A, and plan A is your only plan. And it's based on the concept of historical leaders such as Julius Caesar, who, when he and his troops landed on the shores of Britain during the Roman Empire times, he realised that us Brits were a pretty fierce lot and we weren't going to just lie down and take a beating. And he knew that there was a very strong chance that his troops, his own soldiers, would run away and retreat. So he gave them no option. He ordered them to burn the boats. So they landed on the shores of Britain. He ordered his soldiers to burn the boats, effectively giving them no plan B. It was fight or fail. There wasn't an option. And for me, listening to this audiobook on the drive back from the networking event, I had this bit of a light bulb moment where I realised that this business that I'd built over the last 5 years that was bringing me in an income, it was bringing in good revenue, it was profitable, it was my boat. It was my fallback plan. And until I let go of that plan, until I burnt that boat, I couldn't go all in on this new business. I would always be either distracted by that business and taking away time, taking away energy, taking away brain space to keep the thing going that I didn't really want to be doing, to the detriment of the thing I do want to be doing. Now, there is a piece in the middle here, of course, because I have a business that's giving me an income, and I'm starting a business that at the moment hasn't given me an income because I haven't started to put out any offers. I've not built an audience fully. It feels potentially a bit risky. Now, I went live onto my social channels this week to let all of my followers know that this is what I was doing. I messaged by email all of my current and previous clients to let them know that the business was closing. I'm not closing the business until October because I have clients that I already have commitments to, which of course I will meet those obligations fully and with the normal level of enthusiasm that I would always bring to my clients. But I wanted to let everybody know that as of now, my previous business, Floresco Training, is effectively no longer trading. I won't be taking on any new clients. I won't be taking on any new business. And some might think that was a bold and brave move. A couple of people have actually messaged me and said, wow, that is so brave, such a bold move. Well done. Can't imagine, it was an easy decision. Nobody's actually come forward and said, wow, that was a bit foolish. That was a bit risky. But I'm sure a few people will have thought it. But the reality is you cannot put your full attention and your full energy into something if at the back of your mind you're always thinking, well, if it all goes a little bit wrong, it won't matter because I've always got this to fall back on. Because you will always fall back on the thing that is easy. So get rid of the thing that's easy and go all in. Of course, I'm not suggesting you're reckless. I've looked at my financial situation and I know in the income that I've generated, I've got enough of a buffer to give me the leeway to be able to switch one off before the other one starts to kick in. So please don't think I'm telling you to be reckless, but maybe it does take a little bit of boldness and a bit of courage to say, do you know what? I can afford to take this leap of faith. I can afford to trust that if I let go of my safety net, I will not sink. I will make sure that I swim, because that backup plan, as Matt Higgins says in his book, will always hold you back. It will always stop you from giving 100% energy to the new venture because you've always got this subconscious safety net in the background. Now, it feels a bit counterintuitive, but I feel so much lighter and so much more energized for making that decision, for cutting off the ties to my boat, for sinking the boat or burning the boat in Matt Higgins' analogy, and being able to focus fully on the new business. So my question to you is, if you're sitting in a situation that isn't making you happy, if you're feeling trapped in a situation that you would rather not be in, if you've got aspirations and dreams to do something different, to create your own lifestyle, to build a business, to start that business that you've been dreaming about, if you've got that, what are you hanging on to that is stopping you from moving forward? And what would you need to do to create the right environment for you to be able to make that brave, bold decision to burn your boat? Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think I'm brave and bold? Do you think I'm absolutely foolish? Maybe you couldn't cope emotionally with the stress of not having that safety blanket there, and we're all different, and I get that. But I do think for those of us with ADHD, one of our superpowers is impulsiveness, and sometimes we see it as a real drawback, as a flaw. But I think from an entrepreneurial point of view, that impulsivity, that need to have novelty and to be kept interested is such a strong drive and such a key behaviour trait that we need to tap into and utilise. And of course, one of the other benefits of our ADHD brain is that we have amazing creative ideas. So I don't believe that we will fail if we burn our boats. I think letting go of that safety net will force our ADHD creativity to jump in and do what needs to be done to be a success. So watch this space. Let's see if I can make a success of a second business without the lifeline of my first business propping me up. And listen, if you've enjoyed this video, please do me a big favour. Help me grow this new business by getting my message out to a wider audience. If you've enjoyed it, please do give it a like. YouTube loves likes. I kind of like likes as well. So give it a like, and if you would like to get more content from me and see how my business progresses, because I will be sharing it and my journey with you on YouTube, do think about giving my channel a subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future content. And let's see if burning our boats really is the best way forward. Talk to you soon.